Hello, everybody. Jeff Mason with SimpleBiz360 podcast. SimpleBiz360.com and SimpleBiz360 Timeless Business Tools is our book on Amazon, or you can get the ebook on a number of platforms as well. So happy to have you with us today. We're just going to, again, hang out. We're having a cup of coffee, 8 to 10 minutes. We got Dietz on the boards over here. He's going to be the sidekick and get a little more involved this year. Man, if you like the show or you just started and you want to follow us, just hover your cursor over that favicon icon, that pinwheel that you see there, yellow and black, and that'll allow you to subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're listening, welcome listeners, and we're on 26 different listening platforms as well, so we'd love to have you join us each week. And today, episode 65, we're kicking off our new challenge for 2021. I told you about it on December 24th. We are calling this the Inclusion Challenge. So just real quick, what is the Inclusion Challenge about? It's about making sure that we're including customers into the equation, because if we include customers and make them feel wanted, make them feel desirable, make them feel that we are being good stewards of their money and their transaction, they will repeat with us and they will refer us to other people. So we're going to ask you, the listeners, and you, the viewers, a series of questions throughout this year on how can you make your business more inclusion-oriented. So there's really 3 tenets to it, which we'll go over today. You can see it on the behind me on that electric blue background now. So that is the challenge. We're retiring. If you look over here, the 3Y challenge, which was in high-vis green. We're retiring the high-vis challenging, and we have the inclusion challenge, which uses the acronym AFD. So first things first, I just kind of want to point out, I want to give you 3 numbers here. 32. That's the number of corporate cultures I've had the pleasure to work for during my business career. So, and think about this, there's a lot of consulting businesses. There's a lot of consultants that never get an opportunity to work with 32 different companies. So I own a sales agency, as I've told you before, which gives me the opportunity over the last 14 years to work with a lot of companies. And I've worked with 32 overall since I started in 1985. So what's that mean to you as a listener or viewer? That just means that along that path, I have been taking snapshots of those companies. I've learned how the customer service works, the sales, the marketing, where the flaws are, where the phenomenal aspects of the business are. And I've learned from these 32 different company cultures, in addition to reading books and seminars, going to seminars and listening to podcasts and all kinds of different things, and just talking to other business people. But I've had the ability to immerse myself into 32 different cultures and see the good, bad, and the ugly and decide, hey, what really, or not decide, but see really what works and what doesn't. 9 is the number of industries I've been in. So I've been in 9 different industries, and 75,000 hours is my realistic time frame of the amount of hours I worked up till the publishing date of my book in October of 2019. So that just kind of gives you a little bit of a framework of what we're talking about here. So, I said on the December 24th podcast that, what's the nemesis? What's the enemy of inclusion? Well, it's intrusion. It's sending messages to customers that they're intruders, that we really don't want them. And it happens, and we'll go over it this year. And then there's also that, confusion. Are you really in a situation where you might be confusing people? And then there's something that just is so prevalent out there, and it's so deep and wide. And it's just the fact that truth has been chopped up into so many different pieces, and we just create this illusion that isn't real. And so customers all over don't know what to believe and what not to believe. We don't even know what to believe and what not to believe from our own government. So, there's just so many things we just don't understand. But the first tenet of the inclusion challenge is appreciate. And what I say here on this one is appreciate express gratitude. And I want to add to that by saying express gratitude always. What do I mean by that? Well, as a core tenet of this challenge, again, I want to ask you guys out there listening and viewing, are you thanking your customers for every step of the way with you? Thanking them for contacting them, thanking them for giving you an order, thanking them for giving you an extension. If you're a waiter or a waitress and you're in a restaurant, are you thanking them for coming in? Are you thanking them for their order? Are you thanking them for being patient if a meal is tardy or something happened to one of the entrees and it's been delayed? Or are we remembering as business owners to let that customer, let our customers know that, man, we appreciate you giving us your hard-earned money. And we are going to do everything we can to show you that we respect that time or that money of yours and your time. So it's just so simple. And we'll talk about ways to do that more, but just appreciate, express your gratitude, and do it always. Focus is the second letter. So focus, and what I mean here is customer centricity. Focus on the customer, not on us. Remember last week we just went over those quick New Year's resolutions, and I told you on that voice messaging greeting that you're leaving, is it designed for the customer or for you? I mean, guys, I do a podcast, and I am mortified to find out that for 10 years, not checking my voicemail, it actually said, I'll get to you at a time convenient for me. I mean, that is just, I can't even tell you how bad that is. But, we have to just remember that the focus is on the customer. Look at the customer through their lens. Get inside their tent and look at your world outside, through their opening into the tent where they live, where they sleep. What do you look like to them? What do you sound like to them? What do you feel like to them? Are you complicated? Are you easy? Are you hard to get a hold of? Are you hard to understand? Is there all this, just mush and haze and gray area around your company? Or is it crystal clear, easy to use, and just, a great experience that lends itself to more experiences and to telling more people about your company? So again, that focus, we're going to ask questions on how can you focus on the customer and include that customer centricity in there. And then the last part of that is deliver. And I don't necessarily mean, and I don't mean deliver on your products and services. I mean deliver on stated expectations. Last week, I got a call from a gentleman. I got a call from a gentleman, and about 72-year-old gentleman, I believe is his age. He called me up and he said, dude, I am so excited to see your book talking about expectations. I just got it and I'm halfway through it, but you talk about expectations. I don't hear anybody else talking about that. It's so vitally important because you want to tell customers what you're going to do for them. What can they expect from you once they hand over their money, once they hand over that commitment for the transaction, once they give you that job. And so expectations. And so what I'm saying is deliver on the stated expectations. If you go to my book, page 30, I believe it's 37 and 38, I've got expectations there that I kind of baked in, pretending I was a deck builder. Gotten so many accolades on that from people saying, dude, that was awesome how you put that together. It was basically a deck builder telling a potential customer, hey, this is how you can expect me to behave, act, treat your transaction. These are the hours. This is the way I'll do business. This is all the things you can expect from me. And here's what I mean by that. I have this shoe here for a simple explanation. When I say deliver, if your expectations are this shoelace and your actual deliverables, the final product or service is this, and then everything in between, you just want to make sure that that expectation shoelace gets neatly tied with the delivering shoelace and that you put a nice bow on that, and that the final product is your expectations meeting your deliverables, and the whole thing creates a nice package, a nice bow. And that's really what you want to do for customers in this whole challenge this year. So we're going to ask some fun questions. We're going to have some, go over some cool information, maybe some stuff you've never, ever heard before. I hope so. And just look at things from a different point of view. That's what we're all about. We like to have the cup of coffee with you and just look at things from a different point of view. So we're going to say goodbye to the 3Y challenge, and we're going to say hello to the AFD inclusion challenge for this year. So thanks. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. But before we sign off, we are going to do another Lost in the Shuffle track or Lost in the Track. Lost in the Shuffle track. I get all this mixed up. I don't know why. But so basically, this is going to be our first back-to-back band. I'm going to do the Vogues again. We did last week, right? And it was a number 4 tune that hit the Billboard charts in 1965. And this is another one that hit number 4 on the Billboard later in 1965. And it's the 5 o'clock world. Oh, I know some of you know the tune, but it's all about that 5 o'clock whistle blowing. Well, guess what? We, as small business owners and as business people today, we don't really hear that 5 o'clock whistle all that often. We work a lot of hours and, but it's there to remind us that we do have a private life. We do have private time. We do have family. Don't forget the family. And maybe it's time to start turning that 5 o'clock world whistle on. Thanks so much. And remember, please, the customer perception is customer reality. There's no way to escape it. And, we just want you to be able to make sure that you understand that as we retire last year's challenge, it's still very important. You do want to respond to all inquiries, follow up, but man, that rubber meeting the road, right? Is follow through. So we will see you next week for episode 66. Thanks. Have a great week.